Oh my god, I could just name all the Nightmare on Elm Street people. Robert Englund was actually pretty cool when we got up to him finally, but it was right after he'd had lunch, so that's probably good for us. But he apparently he apparently got everyone who were supposed to get his autograph, they got an autograph from him, and I think that's awesome. I never had any issue with him, and I'd also heard the stories that he wasn't exactly happy with how it had all turned out. And we were also supposed to get what everyone thought was like an 8x10 professional photo of us and Robert Englund, because we weren't allowed to take pictures with our own cameras, and there was supposed to be this backdrop, and you were supposed to be able to choose between the original glove and the new Nightmare glove, and it ended up just being the original glove, which is fine because that's the appropriate one. But the backdrop was this like tiny little poster that looked like it was pulled out of a Gore Zone magazine. And he stood there and he took a picture, and they had this camera which looked really nice, but they apparently printed out the pictures on the worst quality ever because it's all pixelated and grainy, and it's really up close, and it's like a 3x5. And that's the... Luckily, I had a friend there who was standing over the shoulder of the photographer and took pictures with his camera. So we'll be getting that. And I'll give FearFest this. I was allowed to videotape many things. I videotaped panels. I videotaped me talking to stars. So that was something that was new. I mean, I'm used to being able to film people out on the vendor room, but they usually don't let you film the panels, and I was in the front row filming, and I filmed all the good ones. The Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 4, Fright Night. I also got Robert Englund's award, and 2001 Maniacs panel. I'm trying to think if there was another one. I didn't do the Troll 2 stuff, and I saw the Henry Thomas panel as well, and Henry Thomas was cool, and I talked to him a little bit. My meeting with Heather Langenkamp, which she is the most fabulous horror movie heroine in my opinion, and she was really the main reason I was there, but I unluckily apparently overwhelmed her a little bit with my exuberance so early in the morning, and the FearFest staff hadn't gotten her coffee yet, and she was a little grouchy. But we had great conversations, and I told her how much I love New Nightmare and how much I loved her. She wouldn't let me film her, but we did take a picture together. So I wish I had filmed talking to Heather Langenkamp, but it was apparently way too early in the morning for her. And I feel bad because I don't hate her or anything. I just didn't want to give that kind of an experience. You know, I wanted to be that fan where it's like, it makes her happy to know that she's made me so entertained over the years. So, but I think she did, and she wrote on, I had a comic book signed that her face was on, and she wrote, "To my darling twisted fan." So, hi Heather, loving you. And yeah, I met all the people there from Nightmare on Elm Street. They were all super, super cool. I was very excited. I got most of them on film. Most of them, I have the film of us talking. And it's really geeky, and I feel really stupid when I have to ask them, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to ask them if it's okay if you film them. And I'm like, can he film us talking? And they're like, for what? And I'm like, for my geeky home movies. I mean, I guess I could potentially post it on YouTube and people would probably watch it, but I mean, what's the point? It's just my memory, and you probably can't hear a lot of it because it's not like I have a kick-ass microphone on the camera. I mean, you can hear me now, but there's not, 500 people in the background talking to each other. So sometimes it gets a little much. I'm going to go back through and I'm going to put subtitles in because I can kind of remember what was said, and, I don't know. It's super geeky, but overall I had a lot of fun. We eventually just had to get in all of the panels, like 2 panels ahead, so we could get good seats. And we met our friend there, who we met at the Halloween convention in 2003 in Pasadena. And so it was like a little reunion for us. And we hung out all weekend, and I'd make runs to go smoke and take the dog out because we took our dog. And I'd grab food and bring it back, and we'd just sit in the front row and watch all the panels and stuff and had a grand time. So overall, it was good, and I'm not going to say I wouldn't go back to another Fear Fest, but I would certainly know not to expect everything that they're saying up front, and know that there's a possibility certain things aren't going to happen. Because I eventually got my t-shirt, because when I went back the next day, because we got it on Friday, and on Saturdays when they said they were going to have them, they had my size because I'm a big guy, but they didn't have, like, small through large. So, haha, all the skinny bitches had to wait for their shirts, and some of them did not get them, actually. And we met another friend, and I actually met someone who's from one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and we're actually emailing back and forth, and we're kind of talking, and it's very exciting. Oh, and by the way, Excalibur, Andy's not the only one. You're not the only one he hit on then. I was very surprised to hear, but apparently he was just in a drought on Saturday because we were all in line for Robert Englund, and we apparently all came traipsing out on Sunday. So yeah, Andy was pretty cool. I've got to email him. Andy, I heard you were cheating on me with Excalibur. Anyway, yeah, my boyfriend was bitter that, well, he wasn't bitter. He teased me a little bit. But I thought Andy was cool, and I love going to places where you see on the boards and stuff, and they're like, yeah, that chick's so hot. And there was a thread at one time of, I wish Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly would, like, reenact the lesbian love scene from Bound at a convention. That would be so cool. And you're just like, testosterone overload. And then you get there, and there's Amanda Burse and Andy and all these gay people everywhere, because gay people love horror. So anyway, there's my review on Fear Fest. And overall, I liked it. And I may even, right this minute, I think I will. I'll put in a slideshow of all my pictures. Wow!